Welcome back to another episode of Let's Chat Podcast, y'all. I am your host, JoJo.
And I'm Zyra.
Ooh.
Ooh, what's poppin'? It is May, and Pride Month is right around the corner. That's what keeps me going.
Pride Month?
Yep. That's what keeps me going.
The one time a year?
Yeah.
Somebody had mentioned like, oh, I want to go, but I'm worried type shit.
They want to go where?
Like, they want to go to Pride.
Okay.
But, like, to Pride parades and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But they're always like, oh, I don't know, I'm worried. I feel like every year somebody's like, I'm worried. And I mean, that feeling of worry is valid because, you know, obviously for the people who just don't fuck with us, it, like, raises issues and shit. And, like, we've seen so many TV shows and like real life things happening where like, you know, people within our LGBTQ plus community that have events and gather and, you know, you just have shitty people who come and ruin it.
Right.
So I feel like I feel and share their feelings in regards to like that worry. In regards to our safety when being present in these events and these gatherings, but at the same time I have more like excitement towards it, like you said. And I don't know if that's based off of, you know, my experience of having good
experiences with Pride.
But like I almost feel like this year I really feel
empowered.
Heavily. No, not empowered. I always feel empowered. I don't think like that's always the thing for me. But I think like this year I really, really like worry in a sense of our safety this time next month.
Yeah.
Like it's not gonna stop me from doing my shit.
Yeah.
But it definitely like I think more than anything is going to it pushes me to be more aware.
And gives you anxiety. For sure.
I
mean, it definitely is going to give me anxiety.
Yeah.
But I'm not staying home.
Yeah.
That's one thing. That's for sure. And I feel like that every year, though. I'm like, I want to go to Pride, but I'm a little scared. I just get scared of big crowds in general.
Yeah.
Like, being in a big crowd gives me anxiety already. And I don't know if it's because of everything that you hear or after COVID or just, you know, being in a big crowd and feeling like I don't know where to escape because it's so fucking crowded. But I do feel like this year we have to celebrate more than ever and in the next, you know, upcoming years as well because they're just trying to take things away from us. And this is not a political podcast. And we had mentioned it at the beginning of the year how we don't want to go into what's going on politically because it's a lot to keep up with. And we want this to be like kind of like a fun podcast and like, I don't know, relatable, but also not dooming on all the negativity that's going on now. And like I said, it's every day. There's something new every day.
Yeah.
And it's a lot to keep up with. And I feel like when you keep up with it, it literally destroys your mental health. I have a best friend who's gay and he updates me like every day. And it's a lot, you know? Like even today something happened where, I mean, they've been talking about it for a while now about how like trans people are getting kicked out of the military. And apparently that's like made official as of today. So they're just kicking trans people out of the military, which is crazy because why? After you've served for years, you know? But yeah, I mean, we're starting with that because I just mentioned Pride coming up and being excited for that. I feel like the key to life is to have something to look forward to. So besides Pride, I'm also looking forward to Thailand and Bali. That's like a big thing on my list. The month of April, truthfully, was the worst month I've ever had in a long time. And it felt like I wasted the month of April. because of all of the drama that I have going on right now, which I can't talk about right now, maybe in the future one day, but I feel like I talked about it in the last episode where something occurred and it kind of just threw me off my game mentally, physically, all of that. Like, remember when we said we was doing 75 soft?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a cute idea. That was a very cute idea.
Came in and went.
It came and it went, and it's something that we didn't keep up with. And I'm still trying to, how you say, like, get back into health and fitness, and I feel like I made some progress, but the month of April definitely did not make progress. If anything, it probably like stepped me back a little bit, or however you say that. But they say they get April showers bring May flowers.
Mm-hmm.
So hoping for a better month, honestly, but it has been raining a lot now, way more than it did in April, which is interesting. At least here on the East Coast in Jersey. But how are you doing?
I'm cool. I'm chilling.
You cool?
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't have anything. I don't have any news. I don't have nothing.
Really?
I'm just going through life day for day.
Going through the motions?
Yeah.
I started going to therapy for myself. As y'all know, we go to couples therapy. And then I was like, okay, I need to go to my solo therapy. And I know some people may be thinking that are stressed because of work. Because that's like my biggest stressor. I feel like that's what I've always talked about, like work. That's definitely not it this time. Definitely not it. Literally not even thinking about that. I obviously have way more time now since I'm not working like a regular 9 to 5. It is something that I stress about here and there, but it's not too stressful because I feel like I have my time back. Mm-hmm. And I think time is more powerful than anything else.
Yeah.
Being able to go to brunch, get coffee with you, spend time with family, spend time with friends.
You have a lot more flexibility now.
Yeah.
I don't even think like time, yes, but flexibility in how you spend that time and how like you make work for you and not the other way around.
Yeah. I'm not sure how long that's gonna last, but I'm enjoying it as of now. And I feel like if I was working a 9 to 5 on top of dealing with like the drama with family and stuff, then I would literally lose my mind.
Yeah.
I would be in the ER. Like, seriously. I forgot where I was going with that, but yeah, started going to therapy. It's been going well. It is expensive. You know, if you don't have health insurance, it is expensive. Talked about it before, but there's this website called Open Path, and they have therapists there for like a cheaper amount. And by cheaper, I mean like $70 a session, which is still expensive.
Yeah.
Because usually like the cheapest you probably get is like $150, maybe $100. But for one session, I mean, you're supposed to go like weekly or like bi-weekly type shit. I think it's good. I mean, I just started, so I don't really have too many opinions on my therapist, but my point with that was not to talk about me going. It was more about, I was talking to this with my sister because I had to find a therapist for one of my siblings as well, and somebody else in the family. It was like chaos. I was Googling so many places. I was calling places, and it was like either too expensive or like they didn't speak Spanish, which is something that was important. And it kind of reminds me of like just being prepared. I feel like you, with the couples therapy too, like some people decide to go to therapy, to go to couples therapy when the relationship is already in shambles. Mm-hmm. It's best to go, just to go, because when you are going through a really hard time and you need to call a professional or whatever, like they're able to help you. And that reminds me of like solo therapy. Like if you get sick and you have to go to a doctor and you don't have a primary, and then you need you need special attention, you can't just go to the ER, whatever the case is. That's also very stressful, because then you have to wait for them to call you back and try to schedule an appointment, and then you have to
doing the whole new patient process is a
God.
process all
Yeah,
on its
that's
own.
the process I'm referring to.
And I feel like you do a lot more. It's a lot more like prepping than actually getting into it.
Exactly.
Like when we did it, I mean, I don't, and even from what you're saying, it's like, okay, you're finding a therapist, you're reaching out, you're seeing if they take, what's their price point, or do they take the insurance? Yeah. And then once you figure all that out, you're like, okay, well, let's set a schedule with this therapist, because now you got to come down to like, do I even like the therapist? So you do like a consultation, and then
it's like, it don't work out, then you got to find a new one.
Yeah. So and I even think when we started like our search for a therapist for as a couple, it was still like, what the fuck? Like, you had been through this. I mean, not been through it, but I made
a whole Excel sheet for us. I literally looked up different therapists, and then I looked into like it had to be someone that was, first of all, okay with LGBTQ plus couples, or like POC, or someone we felt comfortable with. They didn't have all the qualities, but I would agree that we both really like who we ended up with. But it wasn't easy.
My thing is, like how you were just saying, is like, if it's nice to have one in mind or start looking for one, even if it's like you need someone to talk to for the littlest things. Because when the big things happen and you go looking for a therapist, it's really, really hard. Girl. Because like we just said, hard to find who it is that can relate, that will understand, who you feel comfortable with. And like, you can schedule and book with a therapist, and then you think the first session, because that was my expectation, was the first session, we just gonna get into it. Like, I'm paying for this is technically supposed to be a first session, but a first session really ain't a first session. Like, it's like an introduction. It's like okay, tell me what your goals and purpose for being here, which I get it, cool. That is, default, mandatory, needs to happen, so you're not wasting your time. But at the same time, it's like, I need to talk to somebody now. Like, I need to, unload myself now. And I feel like that's part of that process. Like, getting into therapy isn't easy at all.
Yeah, it's not easy at all. And let's just talk about, like, what the real issue here? Money. Like, how expensive it is, and the insurance situation here. Like, you need to have health insurance in order to afford going to therapy. Like, I have a friend who goes to therapy. She has health insurance from her job. She pays $30 for her copay. Very nice. Compared to me paying $70, because so that was really the issue. And then finding someone who spoke the language, and like for one of my family members, the first session with their first therapist went well, but they felt like the therapist wasn't a good match, so we had to find a different one. And yeah, it was very stressful. So I just feel like maybe like have someone in mind, or do your own research just for fun, and like save it in your notes, because I feel like when you do need it, this is the last thing you want to stress about. You just want to be able to schedule an appointment as soon as possible before you lose your mind. So yeah, that is besides the point. Yeah.
Well, good luck on your solo journey. I swear I'm not making her crazy, y'all.
No, this is not any relationship issues or nothing.
Yeah. I keep thinking one day I'm going to find my own too.
And you have insurance, so I feel like
I know.
You could probably find one that's good.
Yeah.
It's still, it's still a journey, I feel like, for us.
Yeah.
But yeah. This episode was really just gonna be like a little catch up, little recap. I know that you guys love to see our faces, But this one, remember how we told y'all it was like every other week you guys are gonna get a video, and then the other week you guys are gonna get an audio.
Only if y'all could see me now. I'm laying down with
She
this mic in
laying
my face. Like, I'm
down.
comfy. I truly don't know why we don't do this on the regular.
Oh yeah, it's less stressful for sure.
Mm-hmm.
People have said that they've noticed um in our voice that it's like less stressful.
Interesting.
I did want to going back to like the political stuff that's been going on. If you do want to catch up with it and kind of be up to date with these things, I recommend listening to Bad Queers. They're also a gay podcast, POC, and they do talk about like current events and things like that. I haven't listened to them in a while, but I know for a fact that they cover all these political issues, as well as the Daily. The Daily is more a little boring. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I don't listen to it like that, but I have a friend who listens to it, and that's where they get all their info from. Um, but talking about that, I think I need to take a step back from social media, and not in a sense of like, more in a sense of like creating more than consuming. Because spend so much time on our phone just wasting time. That's how I feel. Like that's what I felt like in the past couple of weeks, that I just been like trying to entertain myself by going on social media. And although there are some really funny videos out there, it's just not healthy.
Yeah.
To be looking at screens all day. Truly. So we'll see how that goes. I like to say these things on the podcast because then it keeps me like accountable, even though I didn't finish the 75 soft. But let's talk about what I did improve on in my little journey in the 75 soft. I did like a in-body test, which is like a scale that measures your body fat percentage, your body mass, all that jazz. And I'm a numbers girl, so I love to see the actual numbers, not just a number that you step on when you step on a scale, but like what is it looking like really? And I was at like my highest body fat, which was like 40 to 42%. That's very high for someone who's deep skinny. And I say this in quotations because if you see me, I'm like skinny. I'm very skinny on my legs, very skinny on my arms, but I have fat on my belly, which I've talked about before. So I feel like that's where it comes from. And it went from like I feel like it was 40. That last time I did it was either 40 or 42, which is in November. I did one recently, and it was at 33, which is like a big change compared to 40, 42. The goal would be to be in the 20s, but we're gonna work with what we have.
Have you ever made it that low?
Yeah, I made it to 28, but when I made it to 28, I was disappearing. This is when I was eating 1,200 calories a day, which is tragic because I could eat that in one meal right now, like in one sitting. And honestly, the problem isn't working out. The problem is eating for me. I love snacks. I love me some chips. I love me some candy. Right now, my obsession are these chips from Trader Joe's. They're like these corn chips. Ooh, hold up. These corn chips with like elote seasoning, and then they have these like mango tahini things, and I love it. Yeah, we'll follow up in the next couple weeks, see if it went any lower. Anyways,
I don't keep track of my shit.
You look good. You don't need to keep track.
Thank you.
Your body is proportionate. I keep telling you that.
You know,
and you're strong. You're super strong.
I was just telling you how like, sometimes like I see myself and I think like, yeah, like I'm feeling myself, like I'm popping. I don't look as bad as I think I look, in my mind, obviously. And then there's some days where it's like I'm just not feeling it, and I feel like I don't look the way that, obviously want to look. So, that obviously comes and goes. It's not something that stays with me. Even though, like, you know, I know that I think I'm a person who's very comfortable in who I am and how I look. And I know that, you know, physically I'm proportionate, or like, you know, I'm not that bad, I guess so to say. Like, I'm not, I don't look disgustingly out of shape. And that's not to throw shade on nobody, you know, but I'm saying, like, I don't look crazy out of shape, and I'm not a, you know, I have a pretty face, so it's like, you know, for the most part, I'm very confident in myself and like how I look, but there are some times where I just really am not feeling it. I'm not feeling it.
I think everybody feels like that, though. You know?
Yeah, so I'm just saying, I say that to say, like, it's normal. I mean, even somebody like me, like, you know, you other people can look at you and think like, oh, you're beautiful, like, you're absolutely, like, how you're telling me, like, because that's what you see, and like, I believe that. But, you know, sometimes I just get in that little mental fight with myself where I'm just like I could be better.
I think we're our biggest critics. There's nothing that people could say about me that I low-key haven't thought about myself already. Yeah. And that sounds sad, but it's just like, I have a mirror. I have a mirror. I know what I look like. I know what I look. If you the mirror,
that'd be lying to us.
Yeah. Oh, that too. I mean, the inverted filter does some things.
And that inverted filter I really can't tell.
Got me so crazy. I look lopsided. Like I had a stroke or something. Like, that's crazy. I'm telling you, girl, don't use the inverted filter. Because it just shows you what people see when they look at you. So it's not what you see in the mirror. And when I found that out the first time, I was flabbergasted. Truly. But side note, I said this before. If the stomach doesn't go away, I'm getting lipo. Yeah.
Hey, you already got a deposit.
Oh, yeah. Are you okay with that?
It's your body.
Okay.
What I'm going to do. Sure. As long as you know. What? You take care of yourself.
Oh, right. Because people get like all these surgeries.
Just know what the healing process is like.
It's going to be hell. For sure. Anything in the abs. Yeah. Oof. It's tragic. But let's see if, you know, working out and shit fixes it. But it's looking really hard.
Whatever your heart desires, it is your life, not mine.
But you are
your world. I just live in it.
No, it's your world. I live in it.
No.
Yes.
Not even close.
Yep. Yo, somebody in the comments. Okay, so JoJo posted a video of herself singing. If you follow her on TikTok, not actually singing, like, you know, doing like a lip sync. Somebody in the comments literally said, "Your girl know how to fight." I said, "Yes, yes, I do." Because why?
People be very confident and bold on social media.
And even in person, though. Like, I feel like in the club, our pride parades.
One thing
they be trying me.
One thing I will never forget is the time we went to that little carnival in Philly.
Oh my God.
Some girl came up to me with her son. Like, it was not at all was it, you know, she was very respectful for the most part. But like, it was so like, this is way before I think our podcast, or maybe we had just started our podcast, but we had went to Philly to this little carnival that they were having, and we were in line for something. And I noticed like this woman like walking, and she almost looked like I don't know. I had a feeling like she was like looking in our direction. And she ended up coming up to us, and yeah, we had to have our podcast already because I thought that that's what it was. But she actually came up to us because she recognized me from TikTok. Yeah. And she was like, "Oh my God, like, you know, I just wanted to say hi. I really wasn't going to, but," and like, that's the first time anyone has come up to me and was like, "Hey, I recognize you from such." Yeah. And it was cool, but it wasn't like, it was a little just not normal.
She was rude.
Okay, first of all, I don't remember like wholeheartedly. I just remember her saying, "Hey, like I follow you on TikTok and like, you're really cool. You're, whatever. I just wanted to say hi. I wasn't really going to, but here I am." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Like, thank you." And then I want to say we took a picture. Like I took a picture with her and her son or something, right? And you took it?
Yeah,
or am I making that up?
I feel like I did. Yeah.
I feel like that happened too. And then that was it. That was the end of the interaction.
Mm-hmm.
She left. It was fine. It was nothing more, nothing crazy. And that was it.
But okay, from your eyes, that's how you see it. From my eyes, she came up to us and she was just looking at you and she was like, "Oh my God, I love you so much. I follow you on TikTok, blah, blah, blah." And she did not acknowledge me. That's why I found it rude. And honestly, I find that rude with anybody. Like, let's say she wasn't a TikTok, like let's say she didn't see you on TikTok, or I don't know, like an old friend from high school comes up to you like, "Oh my God, Jojo, like haven't seen you in so long." You should acknowledge the person next to them, like, "Hey, I'm this person, blah, blah, blah." And you could continue on your combo, pero Dios mío, like introduce yourself, say something. And honestly, that has happened to me before when I was dating somebody. Some girl, my first boyfriend ever. Some girl came up to him and had a whole convo with him, and I'm still standing there. And then I'm a bitch if I'm like, "Hi, hi,
hey,
hi, love. I'm Dyra. Nice to meet you." Like,
not hi, love.
Introduce yourself, or at least say, "Hey, what's up?" Like, I don't know, something. Like, you gotta acknowledge the other person there. If it's a group of people, I would understand. You're not about to say hi to everybody, but if you see a couple, you gotta acknowledge the other person.
Yeah, but I don't think people always know if you're a couple. But regardless, couple or not, you see another person that they're with, just say, "Hey."
Right, that's what I mean. Like, if you see a pair of people, whatever the hell it is, you have to.
But anyway, people on social media are very interesting beings, and that's honestly one of the reasons why I don't be in my comments like that, is because like, I get it. If you think somebody's cute, but I think I've been on TikTok long enough, and I feel like I've had you on, my shit long enough for people to know, like, oh, she has a girlfriend. But it's fine. If you're just passing through, you don't follow me, you don't know that I have a girlfriend, cool, I get it.
She definitely knew you had a girlfriend.
Just don't be.
She said your girl fight.
Crazy. Oh, yeah, probably.
So it's like.
So, yeah, so I don't know. Sometimes I just be getting bold, and I just be like, and this is why I don't engage in my comments. Because you just never know how it's going to get.
It's just ratchet.
So she does fight.
I box, actually. So, yeah.
Girl,
she can see me in the ring.
Get the fuck
I go to
Rumble.
Rumble is boxing, though. What the fuck are you talking about? Anyways. So, I have seen a TikTok, and it said, "Lesbian TikTok, let's get real. What's the most unhinged thing you or your girlfriend did to each other and still stayed? I'm not talking cheating. Give me chaos." And the comments are nuts. And I want to know why we tolerate this shit. But I'm going to read some of the comments. It says, "I matched with a girl on Tinder, and a few days into texting, she mentioned she was heading on a bachelorette. Yeah. Weekend. Plot twist, it was hers. She had a whole fiance and just forgot to mention it."
That's crazy.
A few days into texting. Like, I have so many questions, but honestly, I'm really not surprised by this. When I lived in Miami, people love going to Miami to do like their little bachelorette shit. And
that's why people have trust issues with bachelor and bachelorette parties.
They do. Because it's supposed to be like, what, their last like...
Yeah, hurrah.
I thought it was just like a fun time with your friends to like twerk and have a good time with your girls. I didn't know it was like a free-for-all. I'm hooking up with people, Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Nah, that's crazy to me. Somebody said, "We went on an 8-day cruise like 3 months into dating. Got in a fight in the middle of the ocean. She threatened to break us up, and I said I would throw us both off the balcony. Okay. We married now." You know what's crazy though?
Huh.
This actually happens. I heard that there's been like news articles out there where a couple would go on a cruise and then it's like the wife goes missing.
Yeah, because I left her ass on that island.
Nah, they definitely threw her off the balcony.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's nuts. And I feel like
That takes too much work.
the cruise line isn't gonna
Turn around.
Yeah, and they're not gonna like broadcast it. I feel like
Yeah.
they're gonna try to keep it hush hush because they don't want people to like go home. My ex threw my retainer in the fire and watched it burn. Nah.
Yo, you threw my retainers in the fire. They want your teeth crooked, girl. That's funny.
Yo, I didn't wear my retainer for some time and my teeth got messed up. So you definitely need to wear that shit. Had to get a new one.
Well, at least you could get a new one. Not saying it's cheap, but that's not the worst thing in the world. It's definitely petty, though.
Yeah, for sure. You got to get a new one ASAP. But yeah, it's not cheap. It said, had a girl get on a plane, rent a car, drive to my house, toss a big rock through my windshield, drive back to the airport, and went home the same day.
You're lying.
That is insane. There's no way, girl.
Girl, where you live that she could catch a flight all within the same day? That shit gotta be like a quick hour and a half. Yeah, like right across the way for me to go throw a rock, come back.
No, you got money because to be doing day trips, that's crazy.
The most unhinged. Wow.
We blocked each other on everything except TikTok, so we could always reach out. Oh
honestly,
God.
I feel like TikTok's one of those apps where like you forget. Because TikTok, the way TikTok is set up is so weird that like I always say when people who I actually know that follow me, sometimes they be like, "Oh, you don't follow me," and I'd be like, "Yo, I really didn't know that you followed me."
Yeah,
because the way that the activity is set up and like who followed you, it's weird.
Yeah, when you get a lot, you just don't see it.
Right. So like,
yeah,
you could definitely forget to unfollow somebody on TikTok.
For sure.
Yeah.
I remember I blocked them on everything except LinkedIn. Girl, they was messaging me on LinkedIn. I blocked them.
Wow.
Once again.
Hey, get in where you fit in. LinkedIn. People probably couldn't even reach out to me. I don't have nothing but TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat. But that's it. If you don't have me, and I stopped accepting people on Snapchat. So
that's crazy. I don't even know how people find you.
Yeah. And that's the other thing is you can't find me unless you know my username because it is not at all my name.
Let's see. We broke up and she faked her own kidnapping. Got the police involved and everything. I stayed for another 3 years out of fear.
Ooh, 3 years.
Out of fear.
Yeah.
Yo, faking your own kidnapping?
It's crazy.
I saw some shit like that online.
People do crazy things. Love really is blind, y'all. People do crazy things to hold the person in a relationship.
It says we got into a car accident and she sued me.
What?
She bought me a MacBook and Beats headphones with the money she won and wrote a 4-page apology letter. I never spoke to her again. Why the fuck would you sue me? Unreal.
That's crazy. Yeah, you're not allowed to drive in my car anymore.
I would never sue you. What? It says we broke up and she locked me out of my own house and I needed to get my keys out of the house to go to work, and she called the cops saying an intruder was breaking in to my own house. If you're calling the cops,
yeah, that's doing too much.
That's scary. You cannot be doing that.
Yeah, like we do not need that type of attention.
No.
Especially like if I'm being cordial. We broke up. But like all that weirdness of like calling cops, like I don't know, people get immediately petty
to call the cops.
Immediately petty when like shit like that happens in a relationship.
Very much so. And honestly, I feel like the way that people act,
it's like keep your fucking bearings
when they're going through like spiraling. Sometimes it's like, is this who you really are?
Yeah.
Like, I'm scared. I don't know who you are. Look at this one. I gifted her a kitten, and when we broke up, she ran it over. Animal abuse. Animal abuse.
No.
Who do you call for animal
ran the
abuse?
cat over. I would die. Like, so you wanted nobody to have them.
Yeah, I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing. I'm not even a cat person.
Still, I
be
would
real.
not be able to do that. It would literally have to be like, oh, a cat was in the road on some accident shit. I couldn't purposely put the cat in my line of driving and just run over it. I can't.
Girl, people are
anything that like, regardless, like it's a living thing. I can't.
Yeah.
And all I could think about is like that being my dog.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
That's when I will sue you.
Yeah.
Because you ran my dog over, so
that's what I'm saying.
Now we fighting. Let's see. She got pregnant by her baby daddy. I stayed a whole 6 months after she broke up with me, after I found out I had cancer. Then she said I had too much drama in my life. This is what we were talking about last night.
Yeah.
In sickness or in health?
I don't think that people really get the sickness.
Why do you have this like persona? Like why do you have this idea, I guess?
Me?
Yeah.
Because I think there are literally people out there who just wouldn't really stand by their partner in sickness. And it's literally because they just can't deal with it. But I also think like not everybody's meant to be a caretaker.
Are you saying this from personal experience, or are you just saying?
I think it's something I started to realize through a little bit of experience, but also I think like I've seen things where people, other people's experience, I guess, so to say, where like I've heard shit where, oh, my husband left me because I got cancer. Oh, my husband, like just situations how, like you just said, like this person left me because I got sick. Like, and I don't know. I think we just have to, like, I feel like, I don't know if it's, I'm making shit up or just as we're getting older and the more experience that we gain as adults through our own and seeing other people in their walks of life, that it's just like, we have too much expectations on people in our lives. In a sense of like, okay, yeah, obviously you're with your partner and you marry them with the expectation that they're going to literally be there for anything and everything. But while that idea is nice, and sure, some may think that they can, you don't know until you're in the situation. So I feel like, some people don't realize until they're in that situation that, oh shit, maybe I can't do this. Maybe I can't be a caretaker of my wife, and maybe I can't see her in this light. And while you think that that's selfish as like the partner, because it's like, oh, like, well, like my partner is sick, why wouldn't I think of, how she's feeling? But I think even being the person that's sick, you think, I don't want them to see me like this. I don't want them to take care of me in this way because I see it's hurting them and it's hurting me. Or like, they'll never unsee me like this, so our love will never be the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you think that with trials and tribulation that your relationship gets stronger, and sometimes it doesn't overcome everything. And I think like sickness is one of those things that I'm beginning to realize that when you experience it, it's really a hit or miss if it's going to make you guys stronger or if it's going to, not be so strong afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree.
That's my spiel.
No, I think it's a hurdle, honestly. I told you this before, but I babysit for this wealthy family. And the husband did tell the wife, if you were to ever get sick, I can't take care of you. I would have to hire somebody. And he was very straightforward with that. And I could see that because they obviously needed help with a babysitter. And it feels like a home with 3 adults, like if they're like in a poly relationship, because it's just too much work for him because he works from home and all of that. But like he said, I'm not a caretaker.
and
It's
that's
just not it.
and that's kudos to him for
My jaw dropped, honestly, because I was like, what? Why would he tell you that?
I mean, it sounds crazy, but at least he's not like, oh, if you got sick, I would leave.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
like I know that, me personally and my ability to caretake is not there. So the best thing for me to do would be to hire help.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, hey, if you got the means to do it, do it.
I agree.
I mean, and at the same time, I feel like that could help because, when you're taking care of each other, it can really, I feel like, bring, how you say it, like it could be annoying, as much as you want to take care of each other because that's what you signed up to do, and you're like, oh well, you're my person, of course I would do it, or like, of course you should do it, you're my person. It can be very demanding, and I feel like it doesn't give you, like I said, you see each other a certain way, you don't want to see each other. So I don't know, help.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the means, of course, it makes sense, and you would be hiring a professional who would help you.
And again, when I say I kind of know from a little bit of experience, was because my mom obviously had cancer, and even me just being a daughter taking care of my mom, like I'm very much like, this is my mom, I need to take care of her, like she's taken care of me all my life, so of course I'm going to do it. But I said this already, but I'll reiterate. I just remember one time I helped her get out the shower, and I was dressing her, and she just started crying. And like, I had seen her cry before. Usually it's in situations where it's not good things, but this time, like, I've saw her cry more, and it always makes me sad when I see my mom cry, because obviously I've always seen her as this strong woman. And we're a family that hides our emotions and shit, so whatever.
Right.
But she's I've seen her cry many times through her process with cancer, because she's been in pain, and it's just taken a physical toll on her, and like so many things. But in this particular situation, to her, it was like, I'm sorry.
To you.
To me, yeah, like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you have to take care of me. Like, I hate to be in this position. I feel like, to her, it was like she looks weak.
Yeah.
Like, she's weak to the point, like, oh, I can't take care of myself. Like, you shouldn't be here taking care of me in this way, type shit, and that made me sad. I was like, don't be sorry. Like, of course I would do this. Like, you've done so much for me. Like, it shouldn't. But that always makes me sad. And then we've had conversations in between, and she's in remission now for the last few years, but we've still had conversations about it since, and she always says, like, oh, if I was to get it again, I just wouldn't even fight again. And while I want to be like, that's selfish, I almost don't blame her. And I guess, I don't know, just her being sick shed a different light on, like, oh, well, what if I was sick? Or like, I don't know, like,
yeah,
I just have different ideas of it now.
You don't think I would take care of you?
I don't think that you wouldn't take care of me, but I wouldn't want you to.
I don't got the money to hire help.
That's fine. I think, like, honestly,
I would take care of you.
Again, you don't know until you're in the situation, but I feel like I would, if, for God forbid, for any reason I got sick, I don't think that, like, I would want you to take care of me, because I don't want to put you in that position to where you're with a partner that you have to take care of.
Right.
And while, sure, like, that's what we want in a partner, doesn't mean that I want to put you in that position. So, I mean, I'd be going back home like, Mom, you got space for me, because that's you're gonna be the one to take care of me, my parents.
Stop it. Your mom would need help.
That's fine. That's what I got siblings for.
It's true. I mean, I think that's something that we both worry about, like our health. You because of, the history with your family, and me because of just like the history with myself.
Yeah.
And I've been in and out the hospitals, and you've been there. Nothing extreme though, where I'm there for like days or even weeks.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. I mean, this is something that people struggle with on the daily, like other people who probably are listening to this, and it is a lot of work. But I'll take care of you.
Oh, thanks. Love you, Boo Bear.
All right, we kind of got off rant here, off topic. How many minutes we in?
It's 47 in.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna end it there with like the unhinged things that.
Do you have an unhinged thing?
Oh, what do I have? Let's see. I feel like I do, but I can't talk about it because it's like too crazy. Like something happened while we were abroad, and
oh, okay. While you were abroad.
I was abroad.
Yeah, change the we.
Yeah, not me.
I have
you.
not been right.
Someone that I dated, and something happened that was like insane, and then we like got back together afterwards. And I even hate bringing things up because I hate when people bring shit up and be like, I can't tell you. The fuck you even bring it up for?
Yeah.
But let me see. What else?
I think my unhinged thing was that person that I dated for like 0.5 seconds who got my fucking car impounded.
Yes.
That is crazy to me.
Yes. Because
crazy to me.
Like how
I have been ghosted.
I
have been like, broken up with. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
yeah,
you got my car impounded. Like me out of the kindness of my heart, lending you my vehicle to get around
in South Jersey,
and you got it. She didn't even. She was in Philly when she got my shit impounded.
Of course, she was in the city
because she worked out there. So it was like, you got my shit impounded, and you was in there with your ex.
Yes.
Who now has my information because she's in my car.
Right.
In the driver's seat of my car at that.
Oh, wait, her ex was
looking at my insurance and shit. I don't know if they were driving. Her excuse was...
that's insane. I can't even believe you let her borrow your car.
Her excuse was, oh, we were just sitting in the car. But the girl end up sending me, when she hit me up on some crazy stuff, she sent me a picture of her sitting in the front seat, driver's seat of my car, holding my insurance card. Yeah, girl. She was in my phone like, I know where you live. Leave my girl alone, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh.
Wow, people are so ratchet.
Interesting.
That's unreal. I mean, I still get shocked every time I hear it because...
I'm just all too kind.
You didn't pay for that, right?
I didn't pay for what? No, girl. I ended up having to use a sick day for work because I didn't know if I was going to have to go get it.
Look at that.
She ended up getting it out. She didn't need me. Mm-hmm. But, I was like, what the fuck? Like,
I honestly would have called the cops on her and said that she stole my car. Since she want to fucking play games.
I'm not all for the theatrics. So, yeah.
Because what is this?
Fun. And
then what if she would have gotten into a car accident or something?
She did end up getting my car out. And I got it back. And then that same night, I took her ass home. That was even nice of me.
Girl.
I should have let her find her way home, huh?
Uber.
I don't know, bro. I just have too much kindness in my heart. Because then I'm always like, oh, well, what if that was me? Oh, I wouldn't want to be in that situation.
You would never let that happen.
Yeah, I know.
Because, you're smart.
Mind you, this is also the same girl who had been talking to girls that I had been talking to previously. So she was
doing
just
that on purpose?
I think she was just trying to live my life.
But, right. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Was this like a stud by any chance?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it was. Honestly, I'm beginning to think that it's the studs that are crazy.
I don't know, man. That's what I keep
I know
hearing.
the femmes are crazy, but the studs are crazy.
Toxic is what they say.
I love those. Still love my studs.
Every time you hear a crazy story and you be like, was that a femme or was that a stud? I don't know. Like 9 times out of 10, it's like it was a stud. I guess one crazy thing that happened, which I kind of feel bad, and I've talked about this before. Like if you've listened to the podcast, I dated this girl who was a stud, and she had proposed to her girlfriend And then she told me afterwards, and she was like, yeah, but we're in an open relationship. And I was like, really? Like, this is just a little weird. Like, that was the first time I even heard of someone being in an open relationship.
Weren't you already messing with her?
Yeah. And then
before she got engaged?
It was before she got engaged. Okay. And she was already planning all the engagement and stuff.
Okay.
But
she was still with the girl.
Yeah. And then texted me.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I'm about to propose. And I'm like, this is so weird to me. Like, I've never heard of this open. Like, I think I said, I think you should talk to your girlfriend about like your rules. Like, now that you're engaged. Because I feel like this shouldn't be happening. You shouldn't. I don't know. It was very strange.
How long did you entertain her?
How long did I entertain her? I don't know. Like, I feel like a couple of months for sure. And I was like 24. And I remember they were turning 30.
So were you with the shits just to be with the shits?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I had told her this ain't going nowhere. You know? But I did think it was just like strange.
But what was so intriguing about it that you were like, let me go for it?
I don't know. Somebody that I work with, honestly.
That would not be the fucking icing on the top for me. Oh, just because I work with you, let me
I don't know. I feel like it was like when I first was dating girls, so I honestly feel like anybody who was in my presence who was gay. Like, that sounds crazy, but like if you're not on dating apps and you're not going out, how are you supposed to meet gay people if you don't meet them at work? You know? Yeah. And I really wasn't on the apps. I tried the apps and they didn't work for me, and I deleted it right away. The people who was coming up, I was like, nah. Yeah. Nah. But yeah, let's jump into the family meeting because we're getting off topic. All right. It says, my wife asked me for a divorce because she said she feels we are no longer compatible and that she's overwhelmed with everyday life pressure. We've been together a total of 10 years, married for 5. I've been trying to talk to her about our relationship for the last few months, but she gaslighted me, saying that I was overthinking. Days later, she said that we could still date after we sold the house and moved into our own places. I'm confused as hell about the whole situation because she wants me around, but in her terms. Sounds like she may have commitment issues. Why would she want to keep me around if we've grown apart? So you got divorced. You sold the house. You both moved into your own separate places. And now she's talking about y'all could date? Girl, no.
Sound like she's just trying to start over.
No, this is like, no, I feel like she's realizing she made a mistake.
And is it that she made a mistake, or she's just trying to keep a body around until she finds somebody else?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I would be like, nah, you need to be single for a little bit. Work on yourself. Yeah. Because we got divorced, sold the house. Like, you know how much fucking... That's a lot.
I'm beginning to think that people just shouldn't live together.
You think? Maybe they could have their own room.
Yeah.
Some people do that.
I know. I was looking at that. I was watching a TikTok, Abby. Mm-hmm. And it was actually Raven Simone and her wife, and they were talking in their podcast. And one of the clips were that, yeah, like they have separate rooms, and they're like, "Can we just normalize that?
It's giving rich
having separate rooms because
it's giving rich."
She's like, "I have my room to do whatever I want, or sleep in different rooms too, because people just can't sleep together."
What?
One was implying that she sleeps wildly, and that the other one
they sleep in different rooms. That's a little crazy though. Why? I feel like you could like take turns. Like one day you sleep in my room, the other day you sleep in my room.
Yeah. I don't know what their arrangement is, but sure. Like,
oh, you're telling me that they have their own rooms, and then they also sleep in their own rooms.
I'm pretty sure she mentioned that they sleep separately, so they're time like to time. Roommates. But I don't know if that's like Roomies. Again, I don't know their arrangement. I don't know if there's like like sometimes I sleep in my room, or like all the time, blah blah blah. But
that's for rich people, let me tell you.
Rich people. We got 2 rooms right now. Like, what are you talking about? The hell? I would sleep in the fucking living room. It don't matter.
God. That's why you want to make the second room a bedroom?
Yeah.
Huh. We still in the works. But Be so for real. I mean, I've heard about it many times. I think it's a cool idea. I don't know about a bedroom, but I think maybe like a space where you could like create content, read books, like game, do your
Yeah.
gaming shit,
Yeah.
watch movies. I don't know, like a cool your own room. Like that's like just for like a playroom for an adult, pretty much.
Yeah.
That makes sense. With like, your closet too, if anything,
Yeah.
like your clothes.
Right. Keep your shit separate. That'd be cool.
Yeah, but sleeping in separate rooms is a little crazy.
I mean, you're sleeping. It's not like you're gonna fucking miss me.
That's crazy.
I mean, I work nights, y'all, so I don't sleep with her anyway.
Yeah.
And then like this second room, I put blackout shades, so I'd be like, oh well, I come home in the morning, it would be helpful, but I don't. Our bed is actually comfortable, so I sleep in our bed. But like by the time I go to bed, you're getting up, so
Separate schedules, y'all. That's also
yeah,
why like sometimes we can't record the podcast.
that is correct.
Yeah. But it is what it is.
Yeah. I'd say leave that girl back to the family reunion. Sorry, got off track again. Baby girl, you just gonna have to if you're okay with, playing this whole dating game with her and doing everything on her terms, which seems like you've been doing all this time anyway, that's your choice. Go for it. But
I don't recommend.
Yeah, like, this is also your time to give back into yourself and be with yourself and see what life has to offer for you as an individual, living a solo dolo life. So don't think of it as like this, tragedy. This could actually be a really great thing for you, and I think you should take advantage of it in the way that it works for you.
Without her.
Yes, without her.
That's the key word, without her. Because
Yes.
she initiated everything. She can't just come in when she wants. Come in, come out. This is not a hotel. So I definitely wouldn't entertain it. Like I feel like you guys went through way too much to just start dating again like nothing happened. Like, it's just weird. I recommend doing like a no contact thing for some time.
Yeah.
I don't know, like no contact for 30 days. Let her figure it out. But yeah, that is all. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Deuce, deuce, mother goose.
Bye.